Hey guys! I know it's been a really long time since I've done story time and I've been missing it a lot, but this is the first time I've been at the studio in like probably a month or two that there hasn't been anybody around making lots of noise, and sometimes I get a little bit embarrassed reading when there's other grown-ups around listening to me. So I thought today, since there's nobody here, I'll read you this book that I found, and Bernice wrote a really cool book that we want to read together for the next story time. So stay tuned for that one because it's a really good one. And maybe it will encourage you to make your own stories too. I always find really interesting books at the thrift store and at the library. Some of them are really old. This one's a bit older. It's called Need a House? Call Ms. Mouse by George Mendoza and illustrated by Doris Susan Smith. And the way that you can tell how old a book is you look inside. Look at this cool cover art. Ms. Mouse is making houses for all the different animals. So you turn to the inside pages and you look for the date of the publishing. It's usually somewhere in these first pages here. This one says Library of Congress catalog card number copyright 1981. So that is actually a year after I was born. So this is from a long time ago when the old people roamed the earth. Okay, so I'm going to read it to you. It's really good, and it might make you think of what's your dream house? If you could make a house for yourself, any kind of house, what would it look like? What would be in it? And who would you invite over if you were going to invite your friends over? Maybe you invite all your friends. Maybe you're a real party animal. Or maybe you just like a few friends for like a cozy hangout. Some tea and cookies and playing with Lego and that kind of thing. But I a lot of times think of what my dream house would be. I have dreams about it actually sometimes, about how I'd have slides going from one floor to the other, or little cranks that you could crank up your laundry up to the laundry room so you wouldn't have to carry it up the stairs, and robots cooking me dinner, all the things that I'd want to have in my house. So I'm going to read this to you. I'm going to turn the camera around so you can see the pictures better. Okay, see you on the other side. Need a house? Call Ms. Mouse. I love the illustrations in this book because they're just so detailed. I think they're maybe done with pencil crayon and maybe a little bit of gouache, which is kind of like a type of watercolor paint. So these are the different places that she's designed. Henrietta's portfolio, Squirrel's treehouse, Trout's paradise, Cat's villa, and it goes on. What's she gonna design next? Meet Henrietta, also known as Miss Mouse. Henrietta is a world-famous decorator, which means she is an artist, a designer, a dreamer, a builder, a creator, all that and more too. You may have heard about Henrietta from your forest friends. Squirrels, rabbits, chipmunks, and all kinds of birds know her. Even worms know about Henrietta. You see, Henrietta is a genius. Her head is like a carousel whirling with colors, fabrics, and designs. Look at her, always at her drawing table, always creating for others. There she is, roughing out her schemes and themes, trying to change each creature's house from the commonplace to the extraordinary. For hours and hours, she struggles to find perfection. Sometimes she labors for far into the night without even thinking about nibbling on a piece of bread or cheese. Do you ever get that busy where you're just really, really focused on the project you're working on and you don't even think about eating because you're so excited about your project? Look at this incredible house. Is this Henrietta's house? I think it might be. But there are so many demands upon her. So many friends to please. Thank goodness for her faithful little mice helpers. Can you find them in the pictures? I don't know if I can see them in here. There's Henrietta. There's her workstation. And this is her inside of her house. Kitchen downstairs. There's another little office area. Imagine Squirrel asks Henrietta to design a spaceship feeling in the branches of a knotty tree. Look at that. Can you imagine a tree house like that? That'd be so fun. It's got pulleys that go up there and down there. And then this bird is helping weave a little nest for hanging out. And the birds are tying up little bushels for the roof of that house. Man, that would be so fun having a tree house like that. Trout, beautiful brown trout, wants his watery underworld to resemble the lost paradise of Atlantis. Look at, there's trout going through a lighted tunnel. It would be really dark at the bottom of the ocean, or the bottom of a river, so you'd want to have everything lit up like this. And there's like a cool maze. Wow, that's a really nice one. It would be really fun to live at the bottom of a stream or a lake or an ocean. Cat, lazy cat, purrs for lots of beds and wraparound terraces for the sole purpose of being what cats like to be best, lazy. Better lazy as far as Henrietta is concerned than on the hunt for mice. Oh yeah, she doesn't want to get eaten by that cat. Cat's flying a kite. I don't know if cats are lazy or just really good at taking it easy. We all need to take a lesson from cats, I think. Just chill out and fly a kite. Mole desires a more convenient and more luxurious way to the top of the ground. Please, Henrietta, an end to earthy entrances and exits from Monsieur Mole. So Mole's still living underground in a way, under this mound of dirt, but gets to go up this spiral staircase to come out instead of digging. Fox hopes only for a comfortable den, a place to relax after a long day's running and cunning. Wow, I think this might be one of my favorite ones. I like the grass roof and how part of it's all underground, but then it has, I kind of imagine these as windows instead of just looking through the inside to see what's inside. I like those to be windows. I think they might be windows. But Rabbit, being a most industrious farmer, asks Henrietta to decorate a hole to fill his stomach's delight. Lots of city people would like to live like Rabbit. Don't you agree? Do you think you'd like to live like Rabbit in the kind of in the forest or in the country, growing your own vegetables and living under the roots of a tree? That looks pretty peaceful. Worm achieves the very core of his dream thanks to Henrietta's extraordinary imagination. That is a cool house. I like this structure for holding the pear up so that it never falls down. And look, there's like a little bridge so that nothing can get inside the house. And Caterpillar's got all the food stored downstairs for over the winter time. And a little greenhouse up here where it grows little nice leaves to nibble on when it needs a snack. Bear, old furry bear, is so pleased with his new cozy cave, he barely goes mountain climbing anymore. Oh, look at Bear. Bear's got beehives up here for honey and a cozy small cave under a nice grassy lump in the side of a mountain. Comfy yellow puffy chair, a bee blanket. That looks like a really comfy house. And I like this little mailbox too. Lizard, crusty character, asks Henrietta for a splendid beach house, a place to enjoy the sun coming up and the sun going down. There's Lizard basking in the sun up there in its cool solarium. And it's got beautiful cactuses and cool succulent plants around. I like this bedroom up here that looks like it's just full of pillows for lounging out on. I've always wanted to have a room that was like just tons of blankets and pillows on the ground and you could lay around reading books and playing games or watching TV, listening to music. That would be fun. Frog's Pad is a leaping success. Croak, croak. That is a cool one. It's got all these different levels with these nice leaf roofs. That looks kind of like a vacation home to me. I'd like to live there. Spider's web becomes a musical dive with a magical tuned up beat. Beware flying gnats, moths, and flies. Is this kind of like the web is hooked up to all these strings from the web that go into this computer laboratory so that Spider can tell when anything lands in the web. Little signals go off here on the dashboard. And there's a printout of paper rolling through to tell when it's time to eat, when something's landed in the web. And in the meantime, Spider likes to jam with Miss Mouse on the drums. It would be easier playing the drums if you had all those arms, I bet. Owl, night's glider under moon's eye, can finally gaze beyond the lights of this world to the farthest star. Oh, Owl's got a library, a study where it likes to look out at the stars and moon and write down all the findings. It's got this really interesting globe here with different kinds of zodiac sign animals on it. So Owl likes to study the stars. Pig is so fussy you would think she is the Queen of England. See what piggy money can do? Oh, Pig is very wealthy. So Pig has a fancy mansion with a luxurious dining room, and this looks like some sort of a nice sitting lounge with fancy drinks to drink from and beautiful couches and a pool. That looks like a pretty fun house. Look at that nice fancy bathtub up there. That would be a fun house to go have a party at, I think. I bet Pig serves lots of delicious treats and cakes. Otter tells Henrietta, please build me a sturdy hunting and fishing lodge. That looks like a nice place to have a little time to do some fishing. And what's this area here? Do you think this is where Otter catches some fish too? There's a little gate there that opens and closes. And here's a barbecue for grilling. That's where Otter keeps all their fishing supplies. And here's some little fish that Otter's going to have for a snack later. As for Henrietta, she cares only for the simple life. What about you? Oh, look at that. After designing all those fancy houses, Henrietta's favorite place to be is in the woods, in nature, eating mushrooms, looking at the sunset, and enjoying nature. I like doing that too. It's one of my favorite things to camp in the summertime. And there's Henrietta hard at work with her tea and all of the things that didn't quite work out, crumpled up on the ground, but she's still working hard. That was a great book. Thanks for reading that book with me. I really like books with pictures about houses and fancy designs. It really gives me lots of ideas for what I want to do next when I want to make something. Even when I'm making things out of clay or pottery or drawing or doing any kind of creative stuff, it's really fun to look at books of inspiration, things that make you get ideas and help you to think about what you might want to make next. So keep reading books and going to the library and searching for interesting things that will inspire you to make cool things with your parents or on your own. I hope you guys have a really great weekend, and I'll see you soon. Bye!